You heard of our partnership with Bolt on scaling up the charging infra. So Neeraj and I thought, why not we take our motorcycles and actually ride to one of the charging points and show you how the whole thing works.
So both the F77s and the X-47s come with a Type 6 charging connector, and these are meant to be interoperable and standardized. And today we're going to be showing you how it works with the Bolt Blaze DC chargers. So while we have our own charging network, these are the Supernova and the Supernova Plus chargers. These operate at 6 and 12 kilowatts. Today we're talking about working with third parties such as Bolt to now scale up charging and make access to charging very easy for everyone.
We made it to the Bolt.Earth charging station. We are now connected to the Blaze DC fast charger. All one would need to do is open the app, scan, and then make the payment, and your vehicle is going to start charging. It's as simple as that.
So today we're going to be meeting the co-founder of Bolt.Earth, Mohit. Hi Mohit.
Hey Niraj, welcome.
It's good to see, all of these Bolt charging stations, the Blaze DC fast chargers. And I'm excited because, we've been hearing about interoperability from, Ultraviolette for a while, and now we're unlocking that. We've been working with your team for a while now. It'll be good to also understand, the journey of Bolt and, how you guys started.
So a little bit about ourselves. Our journey started by taking a road trip all across Karnataka, me and my co-founder Jyoti Ranjan, and we really wanted to solve for 2 and 3-wheeler riders in India because we saw there was a lot of innovation happening on the 4-wheeler front, but the 2 and 3-wheelers are quite ignored. Fast forward 9 years today, we have about 100,000 chargers being deployed all across India. We do about 4 to 5,000 deployments per month. More than 2,000 pin codes covered. Like over time, charging standards have evolved, and we are super excited to discuss what we have today on the DC fast charging, especially for 2 and 3-wheelers. If you ask me, this is the first that is happening in the entire world, a collaboration between the EV OEMs and the fast chargers for 2 and 3-wheelers.
Awesome. Good to get started here. And, we've been working on building our vehicles with interoperable connectors. And over a period of last 8-9 years, we've launched 2 vehicles now, the F77 and the X-47 that we have here, with the Type 6 charging standard, right, and the charging format. And we keep bringing about this idea that why is it Type 6 and, the interoperability. So it'll be good to hear your perspective on the charging standards and on Type 6 and how you think, it's different, or how do you see it playing out?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So India has 2 standards, right? One is Type 6, one is Type 7. The difference between Type 6 and Type 7 is Type 7 is developed indigenously in India and is mostly for vehicles that are in India, right? Type 6 is a global standard, and it is across certified by BIS as well, but it is also applicable in countries like Europe, where Ultraviolette is already selling their bikes. The main differentiation, if you ask me, between Type 6 and Type 7 is, especially when you move towards high performance electric bikes or even 3-wheelers, Type 6 is easier to scale beyond 6 kilowatt and 12 kilowatt. It's possible with Type 7, but Type 6 does have some inherent advantages which allows anyone to reach much higher fast charging speeds compared to Type 7. So yeah, super excited on this standard. We are super happy to see that the standards being adopted today by EV OEMs are the ones that are being certified by BIS, which makes the vehicles and the charging network both future proof.
Right. And do you see also the adoption of Type 6 among other vehicles, larger format vehicles, faster charging requirements? Are you seeing that happen?
Yeah, 100%. I would say as power requirements increase, Type 6 is becoming more popular. You can see other OEMs as well. On the 2-wheeler, we have already about 3-4 OEMs that are on Type 6 right now. On three-wheelers as well, we are seeing incremental. In fact, you'll see some updates on three-wheelers using fast charging using Type 6. So it's really a standard that works really well, even on smaller bikes, high-performance bikes, or three-wheelers as well.
Awesome, good to hear that. And tell us a little more about the Blaze DC fast chargers. I think they come at different power levels,
Yeah.
and some of them are fast chargers also. So
Yeah.
it'll be good if you can give us a sense how that is scaling up in terms of the technology and in terms of the number of locations and how you see the deployment happening.
For sure. So there are three power combinations right now. It's 3 kilowatt, 6 kilowatt, and 12 kilowatt. So, and we have multiple product configurations, right? So the one that you see here is a dual gun. It has Type 6 and Type 7 both. In terms of our network as of today, we have about 300 to 400 of these Blaze DCs deployed all across the country. We've been working with you guys as we speak. Already 50 are live already on the UV app, which the UV users can check them out and charge there. Like, we'll obviously like to take this moment to tell others as well. In less than 2 weeks, that number is going to increase to 100. And in less than two months, it's going to be more than 300 chargers that support UV vehicles.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. I mean, people, who are buying these motorcycles and are doing long distance riding are looking forward to, the evolving infrastructure. And to hear that they're going to be about 300 chargers supporting instantly and on the Type 6 format and available across on highways and, all locations. It's good to hear that, right?
Yeah, and I think a vehicle like X-47 or F77 demands that fast charging infra, because the riders are going on great destinations and living the dream of having an electric trip all across the country.
So tell us also a little bit, a lot of people ask us this question, which is that in my apartment complex or in my housing society, or I want to be able to put up some of these chargers. How does it work, and how easy, or how much effort does it take, and how do you all work with different parties, whether individuals or corporates or residential associations? How do you all work and set up these?
Yeah, so a good part about is we provide an end-to-end solution. It's only one company to call. Whether you want to set it up on a highway, on a grocery shop, or in your apartment, you just give us a call. We'll set it up for you. You can purchase the hardware from us. We'll do the installation. We provide 24/7 customer support, AMC, CMC, all comprehensive care packages are there. And the great part about two and three-wheeler fast charging is it's much more easier to set up compared to cars. Right, so even if you want to set up a 30 kilowatt charger, it requires a charger, it requires a transformer, it requires a lot of things for that fast charging to be enabled. But when you think of something like a Blaze DC or a two-wheeler, three-wheeler fast charging setup, you can simply plug it into mains, right? It starts at 3 kilowatt, can scale up to 12 kilowatt, but the friction in deploying DC fast charging for two and three wheelers is much lesser, and the supporting electricity infrastructure that is required to enable this fast charging is also 1/100th, or maybe if not 1/10th, right, compared to four-wheeler fast charging.
So this also brings up another pertinent question, which has been coming from a lot of our rider community, and people are buying motorcycles, and they ask us about car charging, right? And CCS2 as a standard, which has today evolved for cars and is widespread there, and the Type 6 standard for two-wheelers. From your point of view, especially because you are setting up both, right?
Yeah.
How does it make sense? How do you see both of these charging standards evolve, and does it make sense for to have one single unified thing that people want and think that's the final way out?
Great question. So I would say CCS2 is a great standard. It's great for cars. If you try to force fit it on a two and three wheeler, first of all, it requires so many changes, right? It's you're holding your nose rather than this, like taking your hand all around your head, right? So you are force fitting this architecture on two and three wheelers, and the thing is, you are not really required to do that, right? We just spoke about how difficult, or like how much effort it is required to set up a CCS2 charging station, right? So doing that, first of all, is too much of a force fit, and second, all the benefits that you get in a fast charging with CCS2 for cars, you can unlock that with the DC fast charging, which is already there with Type 6, right? So there is no need in particular, if you think about it, to force fit the CCS2 on this one. India already has great standard. There are vehicles who already support this fast charging, and the experience for the end user is the same. In fact, it's better in some cases compared to cars.
Right. Right. So which also brings up the question, when we talk about fast charging, you have 3, 6 and 12 kilowatt stations. Typically, have you seen, what kind of recharge is available in 15 minutes, 30 minutes? or at how many kilometers are available from these chargers when you're charging these vehicles?
Yeah, so we made a very simple calculation for people to understand.
Okay.
If it is 3 kilowatt, 15 minutes will give you 40 kilometers. If it's a 6 kilowatt, it'll give you 80 kilometers in 15 minutes. If it's 12 kilowatt, it'll give you 120 kilometers in 15 minutes. Of course, subject to whether the vehicle
Right.
and the charger both should be able to support it.
Right, right. So the point is that Type 6 and the formats today available already support the ability to fast charge,
Yes,
DC fast charge these
100%.
two-wheelers, right? And so that's pretty awesome. In terms of your growth plans, in terms of how y'all are thinking about scaling up, you're already across the country with the AC chargers and now with the Blaze DC chargers. How are you thinking the next year, 2 years of evolution and scaling up is going to happen for you?
Yeah, so almost every month we have to change our plans because the need for this is growing at such a rampant pace, right? So we plan to deploy about 10,000 of these by March 2027. And if you take a vehicle ratio of 1:100 as well, like one charger for 100 vehicles, India today has about 4.5 million electric 2 and 3 wheelers, which can technically be fast charged with Blaze DC.
Right.
So there is already an option to put about 50,000 of these. So we want to get started as soon as possible, work with great OEMs like Ultraviolette to unlock highway charging, intracity charging. But we are all, guns ahead, super excited for this. We are also getting an ARI certification for this. It will be the first one to get it, to instill that confidence in users as well. That is the certified product by Indian standards, and it works with multiple OEMs.
That's great to hear. And how do consumers or riders charge their vehicle? How simple is it? Do they have to install the Bolt app? If you could just take people through that experience of what it takes to charge a vehicle with the Bolt.Earth charging stations.
Yeah, it's quite straightforward actually. Like we are collaborating. First of all, there are two types of collaborations happening. First, we want to integrate with all the OEM apps so that the riders can see the charging stations inside the OEM app itself, right? They can discover it there. Of course, they can download our own app, which is Bolt.Earth app, and discover all these chargers for themselves. They can choose the Type 6 connector as a filter and discover these. Once they reach the location, the flow is very straightforward. It's similar to UPI. You scan the QR code, you pay for the amount of units or the amount of charge you want to put in, and you start charging. It's just 3 steps, really straightforward. And we do envision a future where people don't have to keep switching between apps.
Okay.
What we really want, like the best solution would be an EV rider opens the EV OEM app. They are able to discover it there themselves. We have a great SDK integration, and they should ideally be able to book it also via the UV app, right? But like we said, one step at a time. We started with the discovery. Now we'll start with the deeper integration flows as well.
How does the billing work here? Like this is one very big question that people ask us, in terms of, what are the charges? Are there hidden charges?
Yeah.
How have you all built out your billing and, commercial ecosystem here?
I would say billing and transparency around billing is the most important thing. So in our app, our main USP is whatever the price per unit that you see on the app is the final price that you're paying. It's not that you have to pay maybe 25 rupees per unit, but by the time billing happens, you see so many hidden charges, platform charges, that it comes up to maybe 30 rupees or I don't know, like all these hidden things. So we want to be super clear on that, so people have extreme confidence this is the final price that they are paying, and you get charged on a per unit basis. In case you end your charging session earlier or some reason you are not able to consume the amount of units that you initially planned to charge for, automatically that money is refunded inside the app.
That's pretty awesome to see that, there's transparency and you're very clear about, how what it's consumption based and, it's measured on both sides, right? So it's good to see that. A lot of people also ask us, and this is again a question that comes up from riders. If I want to set up these in my location, can I just buy them online? How do I get the Blaze DC chargers?
Yes, it's super simple. You can go to our website, you can buy it online. We have free installation. We have 10 meters of wiring included as well. And it's a super straightforward process. Just like you buy a TV or an AC online, it's a very similar process. You buy it from our website, you get all the updates that the product has been shipped. Once it delivers, our service team is going to reach out to you to set it up. Installation and wiring, everything is included if you're purchasing online from our website.
Got it. No, super exciting. I'm like glad we connected, and I'm glad we have both of our vehicles, the F77 and the X-47 charging with the Blaze DC chargers. And look forward to, scaling up this entire experience for our riders.
Yeah, we are equally excited as you are, and let's make it happen. Right.
Done.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil.